Hey guys, Ed up here. Today we're checking out the TUP2 Keychain flashlight from Nitecore. Inside the box you get the light itself, USB-C charging cable, user's guide, keychain ring, warranty card, and a safety sheet. So let's take this thing outside and see what it can do. It is dark 30 and we are outside. We have our light here on its ultra low mode, lighting up our cheat sheet real nice. Let's go to low. We can see that out there into the yard, even off of the pump house there 50 feet away. Let's switch to medium. Off of the pump house, across the yard, even hitting those trees there 100 feet away. Let's go to high. That is a nice wide beam. Off the pump house, lighting up those trees across the yard, and we're even hitting the end of that fence line there 150 feet away. Let's try our turbo out. Off of the pump house, trees at the end of the grass, end of the fence line, and starting to light up those trees across the road there 200 feet away. Let's go back to high and show off different temperature settings. This is the cool. Now we have the neutral. And here's the warm. I like the cool, so we're going to go back to that. To operate this light, we have two buttons right here. One is power button, one's a mode button. To turn it on, we're going to click on the power button, and you can see we are on ultra low, 1 lumen. It'll last for 190 hours. This little display is awesome. It'll tell you the percent charge, what level you're on, all that kind of stuff. After about 10 seconds of not using it, it will go off. We will click this button here again and go to low, which is 15 lumens. It says 30 minutes. It shows that we are at level 2. Hit it again, we will go to medium. Medium is 80 lumens. It has 7 hours and 15 minutes left, and it says that we are on level 3. Hit it again, it says that we are on high, which is level 4, and that is 300 lumens, and it'll last there for 2 more hours at our current battery level. We do have a turbo. To get to that, we're going to press and hold this mode button. And there it says 1200 lumens turbo, 1 hour and 45 minutes. When you let it go, it will go back down to whatever level you had it at before. So we can put this on to 1 lumen, hold this button down, get to that turbo, let it go, and it goes back down to that 1 lumen mode. This light does have 3 different color temperature modes. And to get to that, we're going to hold down both of these buttons at the same time. And you can see we switch to neutral. Hold them down again. And we'll switch to warm. And then hold them down again, and you'll get to cool. Now you can just hold them down and cycle through all of the different modes until you find the one you want, then let go. This does have a lockout mode, so with the flashlight on, we're going to hold down the power button. And you can see that we're in semi-lock. When you're in that lockout mode, if you press the power button, it'll say, hey, you're in semi-lockout. To undo it, press and hold these 2 buttons. So we're going to do that. The key's going to kind of unlock, and we're back in operation again. To get into the full lockout mode with the light on, we're going to press and hold this power button. It will go to semi-lock, and then hold it down and it'll go to full lockout. Now, neither one of these buttons will work, and it says you're in full lockout, and to get out of that, press and hold both buttons. Now we're back out. I carry flashlights this size around in my pocket, and for the last 2 weeks I've been using this one, and it keeps just being on. I don't know, something in my pocket bumps up against the power button and it just turns it on. So that lockout feature is going to be nice. And it's not that hard to use, so I think I'm going to be using it a lot. On the side of the light is a cover for the USB-C charging port. And you can see this cover has a little plug right there that will go right into your USB-C port. So even though this feels kind of weak, that's plugged in, so it's not going to let water seep in. That's pretty cool. We're going to pull out a USB-C charging cable, and you can see we're at 92% charge. We just leave that there and it will charge up. On the lens here, we have 4 LED lights, and each of those have that kind of orange pill reflector in there. So that's why this flashlight gives such a wide beam. On the bottom here, we have a belt clip, so you can stick it into your pocket. It's only one direction, so it'll slide in kind of like that. And on the bottom here, we have a spot for the keychain. So let's pull out my list. I've added a couple things to it. Let's see, can we do a tail stand? No, because of the keychain ring. Is it magnetic? I don't believe it is, but that might be something kind of cool that they could add maybe to like the belt clip. Do we have instant access to turbo? Okay, on this light, as long as it's not in the full lockout, any other mode, you can just hold down this button, wait a second, and it will be on turbo. So instant, no, but it's pretty close. It's under a second. Is it easy to carry? Yeah. This thing is pretty light, compact. You can throw it in a pocket. You can put it on a belt clip. You can put it on a keychain, even though it's kind of maybe a little too heavy for my keys, but it is possible. A headlamp function. Yes, we can do a headlamp function with this because our clip is facing the right direction. And it doesn't stick out too far. It's not too heavy in the front, so it won't kind of annoy you, dipping down all the time. It is a little heavy, but for this size of a light, that's about what you're going to get for all flashlights about this size. Does it have a removable battery? No, it does not. Let's see. Can I turn it on in the dark? Not at first. I've been carrying this around in my pocket for about 3 weeks now, and I pick it up and then I'm like, okay, wait, I forgot this light. How do I use it? If I used it more, I'd probably feel the bottom here and then know it's around here somewhere. We got this is where I usually try to push when I do that. Then I realize, oh wait, it's not a flashlight like that. It's down here somewhere, and I'll push that, and then I'll push this, and then it'll eventually turn on. So after a while, after using this light all the time, or if you're looking at it, then it'd be pretty easy to turn on. But I don't know, turning it on in the dark, not really using it every day, then it might take you a while to figure it out. Lockout mode, yes, it has 2 lockout modes. Remember, we just turn it on, hold that button down, we can go to semi or to full lockout. And then just push those 2 to turn it back on. Ease of use, did I need the manual? No. I figured it out pretty easy. I mean, we have the power button, we have the mode button. It kind of tells you on the display exactly what you need to do. And the charging port seemed pretty self-explanatory. The lockout mode, I did look that up in the manual to figure out how to do it. I kept trying to push down with it being off, push down both of these buttons, and that wasn't doing it. So I don't know, I had to look at the manual to figure out, turn it on, hold it down, and then it goes into a lockout mode or a full lockout or a semi. And then push those 2 to get it to turn back on. That all I had to do was push a button and it was like, hey, do this thing. Strobe, does it have a strobe? No. And I looked in the manual for that. Beacon, does it have a beacon? No. SOS, does it have that? No. Red light? No. Does it have 2 different ways to charge it? No, it only has the 1 port there. There's no removable battery. There's no second option for charging it. But it is USB-C, and that's pretty much the standard now. Two more things I added to my list here. One is it waterproof. This has an IP54 rating, which I actually used a manual to find out. So I did use a manual. Yeah, IP54. And can it be used while it's charging? And this one can. Let's go ahead and turn this thing on. And then let's go up to, say, high. We will plug in our charger. And you can see that it is charging. And we are on level 4. And that is good if you're trying to light a room and keep this powered up with like a battery bank or something like that. So that is a cool feature to have. Use case scenario, why I would use it. The keychain, this is going to be a little too big and heavy and bulky for a keychain, I think. Maybe like in a keys that you keep in a purse or something. Maybe a set of keys that you have just for walking the dog. Just like one key on the key ring with this. Then you can go out, use this, and then still have that one key. That would be perfect for this. This is a great junk drawer, kind of a light. If it had a magnetic base, I would use this for work, but it doesn't. I usually use keychain lights as zipper pulls for my big heavy jackets because in the wintertime when I have gloves on, I can't like textile feel the zipper, but I can grab on this and just lift up. This might be a little too heavy for my jacket, but that would be a good, I'm going to try that out. This might go on my jacket. Might be a little too heavy, but that would be a good use for me for this. Everyday carry in my pocket. Yeah, it's a little too bulky for all the other stuff I carry in my everyday. Maybe again in my work pants, but I like that light to have a magnet. Having in maybe the glove box or center console of your car and a little kind of cubby there. Having maybe on your dresser or your nightstand as just kind of like a light to get to something, get to the fuse box, get to something like that. Another good spot this would probably be good for me is over by my inverters and my batteries. Just to kind of have sitting there, and then I can grab this if I need to dig around and look into some wiring and stuff like that. That would be perfect for this. If this doesn't work on my duty jacket, then that's definitely where this is going. Well, that's all I have for this video. Bang around that bell icon if you want to be notified when new videos come out. Call us on the hotline if you have comments or questions and want to be featured in an upcoming video. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. Check us out on the website, and we'll see you guys on the next one.